going to start the recording and then share my screen. So welcome and thank you for being here today. You know, for me, as I had shared in my email and communication out to you, it's really important, even though have been a part of the 112 community for the past, 2 years. It's really important for me to spend time individually getting to know the Braeside community, as each of our schools has a different population and a different pieces that make them special. And so I am really excited to be joining the Braeside community. I had an opportunity to go to every classroom, kindergarten through 4th grade, in the spring and read them the book, What Do You Do with an Idea? And in my third meet and greet, when I talk about me as the principal of Braeside, I'll share some of the great things that our students shared with me about what they love about coming to school. And one of the things that all of the students said is that it's just such a caring place, and that it is somewhere they feel safe and that they feel comfortable. And that is so special and so unique and so wonderful to hear from students that they love coming to school. One of the even more special pieces was that I also met one-on-one with our staff here at Braeside in the spring, and they shared the exact same thing, was what a connection they felt to their school and to each other, and how much they all loved coming to work. And those are things that really just speak a lot about the culture and climate of a school building, is that everybody who's in this building loves being here. And I already, in my 20 days being principal, love coming here every day. It's such a beautiful building, the grounds, the building itself, it has so much character. And so it is going to be a fantastic school year. And today I hope for you guys to get to know me. And then as we go throughout the year, I want to get to know you each individually as parents and as people too. And so throughout the year, we'll spend some time getting to know one another. So about me, I grew up in the area. I graduated from Stevenson High School. I then went to U of I for undergrad, where I majored in elementary education and received my middle school endorsements. From there, I taught for 4 years in the Grayslake School District before heading over to the Vernon Hills School District, where I taught for another 2 years and then served as an instructional coach and as assistant principal. Before heading over here to 112. I did receive my master's in 2014 from Northeastern University in educational leadership. And you can see a little bit about me. This is my family, my husband, Aaron, and our daughter, Shayna. We live in Lake Zurich, and this is our dog, Abby. She's a rescue dog. She's a little, oops, sorry about that. She's a little people shy. She gets along great with our family, but she's good in just our home. So we kind of keep her just with the 4 of us, and then obviously like my parents and my husband's parents who live local. We are very lucky to have our extended family nearby. My husband actually, ironically, also went to Stevenson, but we didn't meet each other until college. So you can see in this picture down here, this is my sister and her husband, my husband's sister and her husband, my grandma, my husband's grandparents, and then our 4 parents. So we feel very fortunate to have close family. We very much value our time with our family and enjoy spending time together very much. Up here is this little orange frog. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to take advantage of the Optimistic Household if you were a 112 family last year, but that was one of the pieces here that we focused on, was just about positivity and about just being together. And not necessarily being blind to any challenges, but just really choosing our response to our daily actions and daily occurrences. And so that's something that you guys should know about me. I'm a really positive person. Things will come up for us as a school, things will come up for us as a as a building with your child. And I'm always here to support. I'm always here to do what we can to make this the best experience possible. You're often going to find me with a smile on my face and just welcoming and excited to be here at Braeside. And so I think it's important for you guys to know that I'm a really positive person, and I choose to approach pretty much every aspect of my day with positivity. So some of you had asked me, what's my why? Why am I a principal? Why am I here? And I don't know if any of you have ever had a chance to hear the TED Talk on Every Student Deserves a Champion, But that's really what I feel, is that I'm here for our students and our staff and our community. My reason for being here is I want to keep Braeside as the safe and joyful place to learn, a safe and joyful place for our kids to grow, and a safe and joyful place for us to collaborate. And I really do value collaboration. You know, a lot of times that's a big question of like, what do you want to hear from us? My door is always open. You know, please call me if you have questions. Please reach out. You know, if I'm sending a communication and there's something you have a question about, I welcome your questions. I will do my best to proactively solicit student, parent and teacher voice, you know, on decisions, and then clearly communicate about what those decisions are. We may not always agree on what those decisions should be, but I'm here to lend a listening ear, hear your perspective, and do our best to problem solve so that it is a positive situation for everyone involved. And like I said, really, I'm here for the students. When our students are happy, when they're learning, and when they're growing, that's what we want. And I know as a mom myself, there's nothing we care more about than our kids. And I treat every student as if I were having a conversation about my child. And that's just something I find really, really important. You know, also as a leader, I want to create the conditions for those strong partnerships. Like I talked about, I want to create conditions for positivity. You know, things are always going to come up, but we can solve any problem. You know, if the last year has proved anything, it's that when we all come together as a community, there's nothing we can't accomplish. And last year was just an unprecedented school year, where we, you know, had 4 different first days of school. And it was a great school year. I mean, the kids did amazing. They did incredible. And this year is going to be even better. I also feel like it's really important to create conditions for kindness and inclusivity. You know, Braeside has a diverse community, and it's important that we respect and learn and value each individual experience to make our collective experience better. It's important to me that all of our students and our parents and our staff, that we treat each other with kindness. You know, I'll talk often a lot about, you know, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. You know, that's really important to me, and a value that I instill in my daughter, and something that I'll talk with our students about, and I'm sure is something that's already an important part of the Braeside community. And then, like I talked about, you know, just creating conditions for growth. There's so many great things that are happening here at Braeside already. And those are things that I want to continue. I also want to hear your voice, the students' voice, the staff voice on where do we go next? Where do we need to take Braeside to step into our next part of our journey? And that's social emotionally, that's academically. I want our children to grow as whole people. And I really do believe in the growth mindset that, you know, maybe we can't do it yet, but with hard work, teamwork, collaboration, practice, learning from our mistakes, that there's nothing we can't accomplish together as a school community. In my first year, you know, a couple of you asked, what are my goals this year? My number one most important goal is to build relationships with our students, our staff, and our parents and guardians. Joey was such a wonderful asset to the Braeside community for the past 9 years. And I was so fortunate to work with him as a colleague, and then have his support through my transition to the principalship. And I know what a great relationship he had with you as a parent community and our staff. And for me, I want to build my own great relationships that are based on who I am as a person, with all of our stakeholder groups. I want to listen. You know, as I had shared, I have listened a little bit to our students, listened a little bit to our staff. Today, you guys as parents are listening a little bit to me, had an opportunity to ask your questions, but I want to learn, you know, and I think that the best way to learn is to just listen, you know, hear where we've been, and to make the best plan of where we're going. You know, Braeside has a story, and I want to understand that story. I want to understand all the different pieces that make Braeside the special place that it is, and made it so that almost every single student told me that they love coming to school, and that every single staff member told me how much they loved working here. My goal is really also an instructional leader, and that's really just an educational term for working with our staff and our students and our parents to make sure that we are creating the best and most optimal conditions in our classrooms for each and every student to learn and grow right from where they are. You know, that could mean, you know, how we get things like giving feedback to students, you know, involving parents in the learning process, how we're presenting content. You know, we've gone through a lot of professional development this summer, and it will be ongoing through the year. And my goal is to lead our building through that professional learning, and continuing to fine tune our craft, which is both an art and a science. And then I want to have fun. I love being an educator. It was never really a question for me of if I was going to be an educator or if I was going to go into teaching. It was more of just something that I always knew that I was going to do. And I love it. I love every part of my job, and this is what I choose to do. And I couldn't think of a better place to be. So I want to have fun with you, with our students, with our staff, and it's going to be a great year. As far as my vision beyond the first year, I had shared with you a few things about me. And so it's really about, I'm here. I want to make our school better. I want to come together, keep being together as a community. I think Brayside's a very strong community. I want to keep our community working together. Talked a little bit before about that growth mindset, that kindness. And I really want everyone who walks through our door to know that they belong here and that our school would not be the same without them. So those are a little bit about my personal hopes, goals, aspirations for Brayside this year. But if you want to, for those of you who joined, I'm happy to promote anybody to panelists who would like to do that. Sorry that I wasn't able to do that during the presentation. If you want to turn your camera off, we are recording, so I can send this out to our families, but you do not have to be promoted to a panelist. If you want to ask a question about our topic today, which is me as a person, my personal hopes, dreams, or any rumors you've heard about me, you're welcome to put that in the chat. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. It's okay if you don't also have questions, no pressure. So we will have 2 more sessions. One will be about me as a principal, and then the other one will be me about, oh my goodness, what was the second one about? Well, I'll have to email you about that. I'm totally blanking on it right now. I apologize about that. But I did want to say thank you for coming. You're welcome to stick around if you want to talk. I'm going to stop the recording right now. Oh, I did get a question. Do I have any hobbies that I hope to share with my kids? That's a great question and something I forgot to include in the presentation. My hobbies right now, I really like crafting. I don't do it so often, but I really like crafting projects. I painted these 2 signs that you can see, these like rainbow signs behind my desk that have inspirational quotes on them. So just doing little arts and crafts projects. So I would love to do that, with the kids if there's opportunity or when there's opportunity. I love to read. Actually, one of my favorite books that I read with my 4th and 5th graders when I taught 4th and 5th grade was The Mysterious Benedict Society. It's a trilogy. And it just became a Disney Plus series, which has been, I always feel like the book is better than the TV show, but I really love to read. So I hope to share like a love of reading. One of the things I want to explore if people would be interested is like a school-wide read aloud or just going in and reading to the classes, because I think the most important thing we can do is just instill a love of reading. I like to bake. I'm not terrific at it yet, but I'm practicing. So I think that baking is really fun as a hobby. And overall, I really love spending time with my family. It's really precious time for me. Someone had asked me in a question of like, how do I balance work and family? And it's that I try and give my full attention to my family when I'm home and my full attention to work when I'm here. Sometimes they intersect a little bit more than we want is that, I'm home and I need to deal with something with school. But I always tell our staff that, family first, their parents, also many of our staff members, and same thing with you guys. I know that things will come up for your family. Family time is precious. Our kids, they're only little for so long. And I'm finding that out is like, I can't believe my daughter's going to be 4 in October. And it just goes too fast. So we all have to do our best to enjoy every second with our families. That was a good question. Thank you for asking about my hobbies. Oh, poetry night. I'll have to hear more about that. I'll definitely have to learn more about that. Other questions? I'm looking forward to a new school year as well. Definitely looking forward to meeting people in person. Hopefully, hoping to be out at arrival and dismissal. And meet you then. And then hopefully, with our guidance last night that we can resume, certain activities from the board, being able to welcome you guys back here at school for certain events and more. Oh, someone was going to ask if I was going to volunteer to dress up as the Bobcat. Well, the Bobcat, who is the Bobcat, is a very big secret. So I can't say if it will be me or not. I don't know. But the Bobcat being here at school is definitely an important, fun mascot. I know exactly. No, that's okay. It's just a little joke. Don't worry. It could be me. It could be somebody else. You never know. But that Bobcat is definitely going to be around. Any idea if there will be a back to school party or bash? Great question. So we are, I was aware of what Dr. Lubefeld was going to share last night. And obviously tuned in and watched the board meeting with the rest of you. So right now we're working as an elementary principal team and partnering with our PTOs to get together and see what we can put together. So stay tuned for more. But like I said, anything that we can do to welcome families back and connect our community, that's definitely a priority. I know that was something that was missed. So stay tuned and more information to come. Yes, August, definitely. The PTO did share that with me. I did have an opportunity to meet with our two PTO co-presidents, and they shared some of the events that they've been able to do in the past. Allie, I would love to answer your question. Sorry, I do not understand.
Sorry.
No,
last night in this board meeting, he said that new families would be able to get tours of the school. First grade parents haven't been in the school either in a year. So would that be possible for first grade? Sorry, my baby's playing with the cord.
No, oh my goodness, I hope they're okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Like I said, we're still combing through everything and we want to make sure the school is ready and that the teachers have time to set up and kind of do that balance. So definitely agree with you that our kindergartners had a different year last year, and especially as our first grade families, there's some new pieces for them. So that is definitely on my radar. And even we have new second grade families started last grade. Anything we can do to welcome you guys here, it's definitely on my list of things to work through. And thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Other questions? And if anyone wants to be promoted to a panelist, you're welcome to put that in the chat. I tried, but I might have missed a few. Any other questions? All right. Well, if you need anything or want to connect individually about your student or students, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I am going to put my email in the chat so you can have it if you'd like. It's also on our Braeside website. And you can also contact me when I send out our news you can use or updates. But feel free to email me anytime if you have any questions specific to your student. Wishing you guys all a safe end to the summer. Enjoy the weather and hope to see you guys next week on at our next meet and greet. If you're a kindergarten parent, hope to see you at our kindergarten play dates on our playground. And we will talk soon. Have a great night.